All right, this assignment is about, I was just checking my volume levels there, sorry. This assignment is about using Photoshop in conjunction with Adobe Animate. And here's an example. This is me running away from a monster, right? But the thing that I want you to just notice there is that's my actual photo that is kind of attached to a body. And my head has been cut out of its original photo and then added to that body. So that's what we're going to look at today, and we'll keep it really simple. This doesn't have to be anything fancy, but I just want to show you some, this way that Photoshop could be used along with Adobe Animate. So this was posted as a Friday assignment originally. Might be, as you're watching this, it might be a different day. I do have instructions on this assignment. Right here is a Google Doc. Here, if you want to use this picture, you could do this with some other picture if you want, but if you want to use this picture of my scared face, you could do that, right? So I'm going to click on that picture, and then I could either right-click, save image as, that would work, or I could come up in the top left corner of the Google Classroom window, say open in new window, and then I have a download button up there, and that would download it right into my downloads folder, so I think that's what I'll do. Now, to get this ready, I'm going to, excuse me, I'm going to hop over to my Creative Cloud app, and I should have had this running ahead of time, sorry, but, well, I'm going to open up Photoshop, let that fire up. Here it comes, here it comes. And what I want to do is open that photo of me that that I just found. All right, so I'm going to open, and it's in my downloads folder. And there I am. And there it is. Okay, now I just want my head, right? I don't want that like sweater that I'm wearing, and I don't want the ceiling or the lights or anything like that. So what I'm going to do over here, where you have things like the object selection tool and the quick selection tool and the magic wand. And this is where it could get a little bit different. If you're trying a different picture and not this picture, you might want to use a different, the magic wand might help you, or you could do a layer mask or whatever. But I'm just going to try to quickly select. I'm going to use the quick selection tool to try and select my head. All right, I think I'll Control plus zoom in on it a little bit. Sorry you get that close up. And I'm going to take the quick selection tool and just kind of brush my way around my head. And I'll do the best I can. It's probably not going to be perfect, but I'm just kind of after the idea of what this is all about here today. So I think it's going to work okay for what we're doing. I'm just trying to brush carefully, and we've done this before when we were doing our Photoshop stuff. We've used the quick select brush. So this is not brand new, really. Ooh, that light. I'm going to have to hold the Alt key and push that back in a little bit because that light gets a little bit tricky right there. That'll work. It's not, it's not super great, but it's going to work. All right. So I have selected my head. Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to hit Control J on the keyboard. Okay. Now, if you look over at the layer panel, what that did was it created a layer that has only my head on it. That, my head was selected, and then I duplicated it up to a new layer. And so that layer one that you're looking at on the layer panel right now just has my head only. So what I'm going to do now is trash the background layer, the one that has the whole picture on it. I don't really want that. So I'm going to drag it down to the trash can on the layer panel and get rid of it. And what that does is leave me with my face, my head, on a transparent background, which is exactly what I was trying to do. And so now I'm going to come up here to the File menu, and I'm going to go to Export, and I'm just going to do a quick export as PNG. I will just pay attention to where I'm putting it. Like right now, I'm going to put it in the Downloads folder, and it says Arvin's Scared, and I'll maybe add the word transparent to it so that I know for sure that that's the one I want. Arvin's Scared Transparent, or name it however you want to name it, and I'll just save that, and it's going to save a PNG file. PNG files very often have a transparent background, although not always, but very often they do. Now, I will hop back here to Animate. I'm going to close the demo movie that I had open there. I'll get rid of that. I think I'll get rid of it. There we go. And I'm going to make a new movie. Now, exactly, you don't have to, this is where it doesn't have to be super fancy, right? What I want to do is I want to get my head, I'm going to zoom this back to like 75%. I think I'll change the stage color. All right. I want to like put my head on a stick figure body and then animate it a little bit. That's really kind of it. So, grab my trusty graphic tablet. I'm going to take the paintbrush tool and I'll draw a body. I want that brush a little thicker than that. That'll work. And I'm going to make it look like this body is running, so the arms are going to be like that, and then I'm going to have a leg like that and a leg kind of like that. All right, so it's supposed to be running, right? Like running sideways, and this is going to look kind of weird, but that's all right. Okay, so I've got the body made, right? I just drew this little stick figure body. Now, I need to go get that transparent copy of my face, so I'm going to go, and this here's how you do it. You go File, Import. I'm going to import it, and I'm going to import it straight to the stage. There is a keyboard shortcut, Control-R, File, Import to Stage, and I found it. It's right here. Here's this Arvin Scared Transparent. That's the PNG file that I just exported out of Photoshop. And there it is. Now, I'm going to tap the letter Q on the keyboard, which gives me the transform tool, allowing me to size it a little bit, and I can move it around and all that kind of stuff. I could rotate it a bit if I want to. Okay, cool. Yay. Now, I think that because that is a, it's kind of two different things. There's the head and there's the body. I'm going to select all of it and group it, Control-G. And then the only other thing I would like for you to do in this assignment is just animate it a little bit somehow. And that could be like the F6 frame by frame animation on the timeline if you want to do that. Or, I might just, in my case here, I might just do a right click, create classic tween, click OK on this. Come down here, I'll just go 100 frames. I'll tap F6. And I'll say, okay, so at the beginning, let me switch my black arrow. At the beginning, I'll put me off stage, and then I'll clip it here in a minute. So at the beginning, I'll have me there, and at the end, I'll have me here, and then I'll clip the stage, and then when I press Enter, I come running on, and I run off the other side, and yay, we've done it. So really, the whole idea is, can we get involved in grabbing something out of a photo using Photoshop to help us, right? Over here, you saw what I did there. I selected my head and trashed the rest of the image, so I just had my head with a transparent background. And then I imported that into my Animate movie and incorporated it into what I was doing. And that's what I wanted to do, right? I wanted to get I wanted to get my face on this little cartoony stick body. And you wouldn't have to, on this assignment, this little short assignment, you wouldn't have to use my face if you don't want to. You could use a different, I think I might have another example here. Let me see, do I have another example? Oh, I thought I had a UFO thing, but I don't see it. Anyway, that's okay. That's it. That's the assignment. Off you go.